Hey guys, so today we are answering a subscriber question, and the question in question is, Frederick, what about Kotlin's multi-platform features and especially Kotlin JS? So let's get into it. Well, I'll give this a little bit of a bash because see, the thing is, guys, I hate to be because if you are truly interested in this, in Kotlin, in the multi-platform features of Kotlin, I need to tell you something, and especially when it comes to Kotlin JS. You see, the issue I see with this is that to this day, no one has ever created a solution, a translation solution to JS, like from whatever to JavaScript, that has stuck within the industry. No one. Save for, but I will give you. There is a light at the tunnel, I promise you. But that is the fact of the matter. No one has been able to do this. It's never been done. And I don't think it's going to happen now. And the fundamental reason as to why it's never been done is because the people who work in JavaScript are a very different type of beast than the people who work in Kotlin. And I don't think this is going to change much. The thing that I think is going to happen, or what I think JetBrains and like the supporters of Kotlin and all of these people, what they are going to do is that they are going to provide you with the same, or rather, I'm not saying that they're trying to do this, but the only way I can see Kotlin's multi-platform features to succeeding is if they go down the same route as what C# and like what Microsoft did with C#. You see, you have to remember something. For a company that goes for maximum developer productivity, and for a company who wants to achieve the highest level of consistency, C# as an example is a very good choice. Now, why is it? Because it's not the best thing at a lot of the stuff that it's doing, but it doesn't have to be, because you see, not every programmer out there wants to sit and spend every single goddamn day trying to figure out which tool is the best for this given job, and they don't want to learn every single thing under the sun just to be able to do their job. They just want a way to do it that is okay, will give them the results that they want and that they can kind of just fall back on, so they don't have to deal with all the bullshit that comes from the volatile ecosystem of development. And that's the fundamental problem with JavaScript. JavaScript is the community. That Wild West type of bullshit that a lot of people hate, that is JavaScript. That is the entire ecosystem of JavaScript. So trying to stabilize that through an external language is, in my opinion, the reason why it keeps on failing. TypeScript is a massive success because it accepts that JavaScript is here to stay. It accepts that people want to work in a certain fashion within that community. The other translation tools, they fail because they don't do this. It's that simple. And you're always in this maintenance type of situation where, alright, so new features are added to JavaScript at a much higher pace than other languages. And now you need to feature match, because if you're not up to 100, because as soon as the new features are released, there's this little time gap where it's unlikely that your translation solution is going to have that specific feature. It's always a limitation. And that's the thing, in order for people to accept that there's going to be certain limitations, just as with Xamarin and whichever translation, or whichever like of these multi-platform solutions you're going with, you have to have that one thing, that big benefit that makes it all worth it, because these limitations are there. And the first thing that you need is a business case in which this is okay. Now, I will argue that at a larger company, or a company where you're not really pushing the envelope when it comes to innovation and things of this nature, as an example, C# and the .NET ecosystem is a very good solution. And Kotlin is going to have to go the same route, because, and rather I think that is the way forward for the multi-platform solution, because I don't think that just by providing multi-platform that you're going to get mass adoption. I don't see that happening because of, as I said, the fundamental problem is that unless you can convince people that they should opt into this little cult, because let's be honest here, C# is a cult, or .NET is a cult. I've seen what it does to, it is designed, it's very good for development purposes. Almost to the point, as I said, to the point where I almost have to stand back in awe and bow to the level of indoctrination I see in some C# developers. Because if you go into C# and you go into the .NET core, you can stay there for the rest of your career, and that is exactly what it's designed to do. It's what it's designed to do. Microsoft is, I mean, you have to respect it. No other programming like a software company has that level of indoctrination. You could make an argument for Apple and Objective-C and so forth, but not that, like, they are not in my world, not in the same ballpark as Microsoft and the .NET ecosystem. So for Kotlin to be able to provide this multi-platform solution, because remember, this is not a new thing. It's been done many times, but it's really only Microsoft that has succeeded in doing this to the point where it becomes a mass adoption type of thing. They will have to go down the same route, and that will take time, because it's not just enough to give people a solution that is going to work on every platform. You need to create the ecosystem, because unless you can make the development experience and of course create the solutions that you need to solve all these business problems that you're going to have as a developer, unless you can create that comfortable lounge type of seat for the developers, they will not pick your thing for every solution. And that's what you're going for when you're doing a multi-platform solution. Otherwise, what's the point? If you're using Kotlin without the multi-platform features, that's okay enough itself. But the multi-platform features allows you to share code and all of these other benefits that they try to push in the tech talks. And I absolutely buy that to a certain extent. But as I said, only people who truly see a value in having one single language to solve every problem they have within the company is going to opt into that. And the only people I know that do this are the sort of people who don't want to deal with all the bullshit of the chaos that is our world. So what I want you to take away from this is that I think that Kotlin multi-platform, it's a bit up in the air at this point. I think that in order for it to succeed, they will have to go down the same route as Microsoft did, and that is going to take time, because you have to create a really stable ecosystem where you have everything that people could want. And Kotlin JS, I don't see it succeeding, I'm sorry to say. It's been tried so many times to make something that is nicer than JavaScript, transpile into JavaScript and get that to be adopted, and so far it has failed, I'm sorry to say. Have a great day.